I often get asked, is cord cutting really cheaper? And the short answer is yes, it's a lot cheaper. Now, there's catches here. And a lot of people will try to scare you with numbers and make it look like it's not cheaper, it will cost you more, the list goes on and on. First of all, the first thing people try to do to scare you with cord cutting is they list all these services. I had this one lady email me once saying, there's no way this is cheaper, and she listed all these services. And I looked at it and I said, well, first of all, you don't have to subscribe to all these. The great thing about cord cutting is you get to pick how you want your content, when you want it, and where you want it. And then I looked at it too, and she had things like, okay, she had HBO Now, the standalone subscription service for HBO listed, but then she also listed Sling TV. And in that, she had the add-on for HBO. She had Showtime, and the add-on for Showtime on Amazon. So the standalone Showtime and the Amazon add-on. So she was double paying. They give you the exact same content. It's just how you pay for it, how you access it is different. So I keep that in mind too. I hear it too, like, well, if I subscribe to Sling and PlayStation Vue, won't that be more? And I'm like, why would you do that? Pick the one that fits you the best. So keep that all in mind. The other thing to remember is you don't have to subscribe for an entire year. If you are a Game of Thrones fan, subscribe to HBO during Game of Thrones. Don't subscribe all year. There's no reason to sign a 2-year contract like cable insists when you're becoming a cord cutter. The other flip kind of tricky thing here is promotional rates. Don't be comparing cord cutting to the promotional rates on Comcast or DirecTV or Dish or any of these places, especially what they tell you on the phone. Because here's the game. They'll make you sign a 2-year contract, and in that they'll only guarantee the price for the first, sometimes as little as 6 months I've heard from people, but the first year. And then the rate's going to skyrocket. If you average out over the life of the contract what the rate is, that's what you're really paying. And I often hear, well, the lady on the phone said, call us back and we'll give you a better deal. And they may not. It depends on who you get on the phone. But the reality is you'll have to sign up for another 2 years. And it probably won't be nearly as good as the current one. It may not be as high as the rate you're paying after the first year, but it won't be as cheap as the promotional rate. You probably end up somewhere in the middle. So when you look at the cost, make sure to read the fine print. How long is that promotional rate good for? How long is your contract? Don't get suckered into, for an extra $10, we'll give you TV. I even saw some smaller companies, cable companies, are saying, if you sign up to our fastest internet plan, a free year of TV, 2-year contract required, and then, it doubles the cost of your plan after the first year. So be careful of these games out there they play. You need to kind of have a strong backbone a little bit when you're talking to the cable company, especially when you're canceling, because they'll try to throw out everything in the books to make it look cheaper than it really is. So you don't need all the streaming services. You need to make sure you really know the true cost of that cable plan that they're proposing. And the last kind of point I would encourage people to do is to resist the temptation to subscribe to everything. A lot of times people get into cord cutting and they're like, I have to have Sling because I want all my old channels. I have to have Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, on and on and on. And my catch here be, are you double dipping a little bit? If you have Sling TV with live feeds of all the Fox shows, and they have their on-demand Fox content, or FX, Fox in some markets now, do you really need Hulu? If you have an antenna, do you need Hulu? The list goes on and on. So really resist the temptation to get everything. Really look at what you're paying for. Studies have shown cord cutters pay on average about $20 to $30 now a month in their entertainment. You compare that to cable TV for the TV side, they pay on average $100 a month, cable subscribers. So that's about a $70 difference there between what cord cutters pay and what cable pays. That really adds up over the lifetime of the contract. The last thing I want to throw out, if you're a new cord cutter and you're thinking about this, keep in mind what you're currently paying for. If you pay for cable TV and Netflix, or maybe Amazon, maybe paying that for the shipping, Amazon and Netflix are not new costs. So you don't have to count that against dropping cable. So you say, I'm paying $100, and let's say like my family was, $120 for, in my case it was DirecTV. and I'm paying for Netflix and I'm paying for Amazon already. So I counted those, and when I drop this, it's all savings. It's not like I have to say, I'm gonna drop this and then I'm gonna go buy this, because I already was paying for it. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Sit down and make a list. Are you paying for Hulu maybe? Are you paying for Netflix? Are you paying for Amazon? Do you not use the Amazon video, but you use the shipping? Well, you already have the video side of it. So sit down and really look at that. Take advantage of the free trials, and don't be scared by this idea that it's going to cost more money. People will try to twist words, twist numbers, do whatever they can to convince you that you're paying more than with cable as a cord cutter. And I tell you, it's really not. Because you really do have to look at the lifetime of the contract. You have to make sure you know what your contract is. I've heard from some people, a few emails that they signed up on the phone retention, convinced them not to become cord cutters. They stayed on. After 3 months, that promotional rate went away and the rate skyrocketed. And they were locked into it for a year and a half still to go on their contract. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Don't let other people convince you that cord cutting is more expensive, because it's really not. Now, is cord cutting for everybody? I'll throw this at the end. No, and there's always going to be people who just want that simple experience. Money's not an issue. They're just not interested in it, cord cutting. So if that's you, that's fine. But money shouldn't be the reason why you don't become a cord cutter.